Well, thanks for visiting us today. I'm meteorologist Josh Marces, and this is your 8:30 in the morning update here on Thursdays. We're watching for the winter weather to occur here in the Arklatex. So far, just a cold rain this morning. We know it's probably just a matter of time here, maybe within the next hour or two, that we'll start getting some reports of some freezing rain as well as sleet here from McCurtain County down through Red River as well as Franklin and Titus counties. Again, the radar beam shooting a little bit higher than the surface of the atmosphere, so the radar is indicating there's some frozen precipitation, which there likely is, but it's melting before it reaches the ground as our temperatures have been above freezing through most of the morning. But we know this is probably going to change because the temperature down to 32 in Idabel as well as Mount Pleasant, so we're now at freezing in those areas. So once we start to drop to near freezing in other areas, that rain will change over into freezing rain and start accumulating on bridges and overpasses, likely on trees and power lines as well. And that's the biggest threat for us today, is to see some freezing rain. Again, we have the Ouachita Mountains up here, which are kind of steering the cold air into northeast Texas and kind of steering it around the mountains into Columbia County. So we're pretty cold in Magnolia, but we're safely above freezing between Texarkana as well as Shreveport. And that's why on the winter storm warning, that's why it's shaped kind of oddly, just like a horseshoe here, because we don't expect that cold air will filter right down into the Arklatex that will hit the mountains and kind of go around, which is why we do have that oddly shaped warning that extends into Texas as well as portions of Arkansas. Again, the main threat in the pink area where we have the winter storm warning, that will be for ice accumulations up to and maybe over a quarter inch, and that's definitely enough to cause some roadway shutdowns as well as kind of cripple travel and maybe cause some scattered power outages. Again, the accumulations will likely be less from Texarkana down to Shreveport and along I-20, but we can't rule out seeing maybe a tenth of an inch or slightly higher of either some freezing rain or some sleet as we continue through the day. Won't be much snow here, but I will show you the snowfall map in just a moment. As far as the ice potential, I think this is the model that's been handling it the best for the past few hours here. We're still expecting maybe a quarter inch of ice from Mount Pleasant to Idabel. I think we're probably overdone in DeQueen at this point since the temperature is a little warmer there, but again, we could definitely see those higher amounts into Columbia County as well, and showing light accumulations of freezing rain in Texarkana as well as Shreveport. And there will be some sleet that falls on top of that as well. The issue for us today, you can still see there's a lot of precipitation back towards north and central Texas, so all of that still has to scoot through the Arklatex, and that will be a few hours from now, but we know the temperatures will continue to cool down here in the upcoming hours, so we'll probably see more of this rain transition into that winter mix as we continue through the morning. So Texarkana, we're showing a winter mix there at about noon today. Shreveport still just rain, and I think that window for maybe a winter mix will open up here in our East Texas counties around Caddo Lake, Jefferson, Marshall, probably about 1 or 2 in the afternoon. And then if we see any winter weather in Shreveport, it's a rather wide window, but I would say anywhere from about 3 to 8 p.m. today, as those temperatures will be in the low 30s during that time frame. And we know the precipitation will be there, so I do think we'll see some light accumulations in the Shreveport area. And there goes the winter weather down towards Natchitoches tonight. Just light accumulations, which is why we don't have the advisory for the Natchitoches area. Again, as we go into your Friday, it'll be cloudy through the morning, so that's going to hold our temperatures below freezing for much of the morning. So if we do get a quarter inch of ice today, it's going to bring some roadway impacts likely into the day tomorrow. But if we can get some sun back tomorrow afternoon, won't be a warm day, but should be back into the low 40s, which should be enough to help melt at least a little bit of that ice tomorrow, and then what's left of it will definitely melt off as we hit the weekend. And there's a look at the snowfall map. Again, probably we'll see a changeover for an hour or two of snow north of I-30 following some of that freezing rain. So it is possible we could see just a dusting of snow there on some of those surfaces, grassy surfaces especially. But again, that snow will fall on top of the ice, and just a messy roadway situation there if this all comes to pass. But your temperatures today, 3 p.m., we should be around in the 20s and low 30s in most areas. So again, bundle up if you're headed outside. Hopefully you just get to stay inside today. But will be a breezy day. We'll be dealing with wind chills in the 20s and 30s this afternoon. Very cold tonight. Temperatures will be in the 20s. In fact, we'll be in the 20s overnight here through the weekend, and daytime highs back into the 40s. Sunshine this weekend. That's what will really got to melt off what's left of the ice, and dry weather for the next week as well, as we should wind up in the 60s by the middle of next week.